Debbie and I have been chatting and chuckling a little bit at the remarks of the richest man in the world. No, we're not talking about Jeff Bezos. If you've been keeping track, the richest man in the world is Elon Musk. SpaceX, Tesla. This guy is just an unbelievable genius. And what an entrepreneur. Now, of late, he did a session with the Wall Street Journal. And I got to say, well, first of all, I mean, really, Elon, that haircut? What are you going for? The Kim Jong-un look is a little bit unnerving. But I like all the things he said. And, honey, let's talk a little bit about some of the things. First of all, he comes out against the infrastructure bill. And I love this. I mean, he goes, honestly, I would just can this whole bill. Don't pass it. I would just delete it. Delete. Yes. So you see here his libertarian streak. He goes on to say, and this is the broader point, it does not make sense to take the job of capital allocation away from people who have demonstrated great skill, in other words, from the entrepreneurial class, and give it to an entity, the government, that has demonstrated very poor skill. And then he sums up the nature of government, I think, beautifully, where he goes, the government is simply like a big corporation. In fact, it's the biggest corporation in the country, but it has A, a monopoly on violence, and B, you have no recourse. So normally with a company, you don't like it, go shop somewhere else. But with the government, you don't have...
Well, I mean, look at when we go to the DMV or we go to the post office or, it's like, oh my goodness, do we have all day to waste? But this is how they are. This is how they operate. Very inefficient. Unlike probably his facility is amazing. I can only imagine. And going to a place like the Apple Store, you go right in, right out. Boy, wouldn't that be something if government could work like that?
Remember Dana Carvey,
Oh my gosh, yes. Socialism is the DMV. Capitalism is the Apple Store. What do you want? Which one do you want?
Yeah. Now, with Elon Musk, here's a guy. Now, he makes some general points here about society. He says, civilization is going to crumble if people don't have more children. In fact, he says a lot of elites think there are too many people in the world. But he says, in fact, I can't emphasize this enough, there are not enough people. And then he goes on to point out this is one reason why he has 6 kids.
Oh, I was going to ask, how many kids does he have?
Yeah, he's setting a good example. So he's practicing what he preaches.
Yeah, definitely.
But we were talking about how there's a little bit of a larger role for him. It's almost like the stage is set. It's waiting for Elon. And it's, we're calling this your turn, Elon Musk. And what do we mean by that?
Yes. So what we mean by that is that we are tired of the billionaires on their side of the aisle making all of these changes that are extremely disturbing. For example, look at what Zuckerberg did with all those drop boxes that his money bought.
Or George Soros. As I've told you before, George Soros not only changed the landscape of Europe, Spain, Portugal, all those areas Asia, but he also changed South America. He was very involved in the Venezuelan politics, and with Hugo Chavez, Maduro, his money went down there to change and to change their country and to make sure that it was socialist. And he's trying to do the same thing here. So when people talk about Soros, don't assume that he's just wanting to socialize just America, which is bad enough, but he wants to socialize the entire world, and his money can do it. But you know what, Elon? You have more money than George Soros. Yeah, I mean, let's put things in perspective. I mean, Soros has a lot of money, and Soros can spend $1 billion here, $1 billion there. But if I'm not mistaken, Elon Musk's current net worth is close to $300 billion. So this is a guy, he says at times that wants to stay out of politics. He'll do a tweet here, a tweet there. I mean, here's Elon Musk kind of pontificating. There are minimum age requirements for the House, Senate, and presidency. Reciprocally, there should be maximum age limits to blah, blah, blah. I mean, this is okay.
Right,
but it's not really, not an adequate response to the situation. The country hangs in the balance.
He's the only person in the world that can do anything about our politics in America, right? He lives in America. He can literally change the way the culture is. I mean, I can't emphasize enough how much, Elon, you could help us.
Well, it's not just it's not just the fact that he has the opportunity to do it and he has the means to do it. I think it's a broader point.
Yeah.
A lot of these entrepreneurs, they work hard at making money, but they don't do enough to protect the infrastructure that makes capitalism possible, that makes their own success possible. Here's Elon Musk, a success story. He comes from where? South Africa with nothing.
Yeah.
True, it's his own genius, but where would his genius be if he went to Afghanistan? Right? His genius is realized in the American context. And so it's kind of like saying, hey, listen, I'm going to move my family out west, but there are all these outlaws trying to destroy the ranch, trying to prevent civilization from planting itself here. I need to hire some gunslingers on our side to keep the outlaws at bay. That's what he's not doing.
Right. Why don't you look at the camera and tell Elon this? Tell him that we need his help.
Well, we don't know if he's listening, but he should listen because
hopefully somebody will tell him that we're talking to him.
Well, what we're really saying is he needs to be, we'd like him to be the anti-George Soros and not even necessarily define himself in negative terms. Soros is a Lilliputian compared to what Elon can do.
Yeah.
But right now, Soros is a giant compared to what Elon is not doing. And this is the point, that if you love America and you love what America has made possible in your life, I think with that comes some moral responsibility to defend the principles that have made America America and to defend the principles that have made Elon Musk Elon Musk.
And Elon, if you're listening, we want to talk to you. So, you know how to reach us.